In this video, I will be demonstrating how to use the new Installation Assistant. To begin, we're going to start by navigating to the documentation page. So we're going to select Documentation on the left-hand side. At the top of the page, we're going to select the Installation Assistant, and the download will begin immediately. Depending on which browser you're using, you may be prompted to save the file. In this case, you'll choose the location in which you'd like to save the file to. Once the download has finished, you'll navigate to the location that the file was saved. First, we'll want to make sure that we close out of the browser. So we're going to select Log Out in the top right-hand corner, and then close the browser. Then we'll right-click on the Installation Assistant and select Run as Administrator. This is a very useful program, but it is important to follow the directions listed within the command prompt. The first set of options we'll see is to determine what kind of installation we're doing. We're going to want to select the 2-digit code associated with the installation options that we're wishing to use. The installation options are FI for full installation. This will install the latest version of Webscan as well as scanner drivers. SC, which is the scanner driver standalone, you would use this option if your customer is already using version 17.0.329 or newer. The reason for this is that 17.0.329 or newer will automatically update to the latest available version of Webscan. The last option is WD. This is just for Webscan. This would be for customers who already have scanner drivers installed and just need to install Webscan. So today we're going to go ahead and do the full installation. So we're going to enter in FI, and then we're going to press Enter as indicated in the instructions. Now we'll see that there is a message that indicates that the Webscan Capture.exe was terminated successfully. This is just to ensure that Webscan is not running in the background in the event that your customer has Webscan already installed. Occasionally, installing Webscan while the process is already running can cause problems, so we've created a way to make sure that this does not become an issue. If you get a message that indicates that there was an error, it's important to read what the error could be caused by. If your customer does not have administrative rights on the computer, this can cause an error as well as Webscan not being installed. So be sure to check if Webscan is running or not depending on what the error message indicates. Since we do have a successful message, we're going to go ahead and press any key to continue. Now, if we move this window out of the way just slightly, we can see that there's a message that indicates that we need to uninstall all drivers related to the scanner that we intend to use, as well as any previous versions of Webscan. So we're going to go ahead and use the Digital Check scanner. So we're going to enter in Digital and Teller Scan to make sure that we don't have either portions of that installed. So since we don't have any of that, we can go ahead and do a search for Webscan. And we can see that we do have Webscan installed. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on Webscan and we're going to select Uninstall. We're going to select Yes to confirm that we want to uninstall it. And then in the directions, we can see that we can close the window. So we'll go ahead and close the Programs and Features window, and then we'll select any key to continue. Now we'll see another menu. This menu is to determine which scanner we want to install the drivers for. So as I said, we do want to use the Digital Check. So if we look in the menu, we'll see that DC indicates the Digital Check and Teller Scan drivers. So we'll enter in DC and press Enter. The following instructions will display. These instructions are very important. If the file is not saved in the correct location, the Installation Assistant will no longer be able to function correctly. So what it's telling us is that when the download begins, we need to save the file to the desktop. We can see that folder location here. Then once the download has completed, we're going to close Internet Explorer. So to begin the download, we're going to press any key to continue. Then we can see that it wants us to save the program. So instead of just clicking on Save, which would default to our Downloads folder, we want to select the Save As option. Then we're going to Save As, and we want to make sure that we're on the desktop. You can do this just by selecting the desktop link and then selecting Save. Now again, it is important to make sure that we follow the directions within the command prompt. So instead of selecting Run, we're going to select Close. Then we'll see that the installation begins automatically. Now we will see that we do see a message that says to follow the on-screen prompts to complete the installation. It does also indicate to leave all folder paths and settings as default. So we're just going to select Next through the installation. We'll select Next again. We're going to select OK, indicating that the scanner is turned off and not connected to the computer. Then we're going to select Finish. We'll select Next and Finish again. Now we'll see that the command prompt is telling us that it's checking for the required components. Since WebScan does have prerequisites, the installation assistant will verify that the prerequisites are installed. If they are not, the installation assistant will walk you through the process of getting those installed. So since we can see that the Visual C++ is already installed, we'll select any key to continue. Then we'll see the next screen is showing that .NET is already installed as well. So again, we'll press any key to continue. Now we can see that the same kind of message is displayed again when it comes to saving the WebScan install. So we're going to want to go ahead and select Save As, and we're going to want to save it to the desktop. So again, we'll select the desktop and we'll select Save. There's also a message that indicates that if a window appears that says that the file already exists, we do want to select Yes. This will ensure that the latest version of WebScan is being installed on the customer's computer. So again, then we're going to select Close on the Internet Explorer window to complete it. So we'll select Close, and then there's a message that questions whether or not the download completed. So we'll indicate that the download was completed by entering in Yes and then pressing Enter. Then we'll see that the WebScan installation is now beginning. So we'll want to go ahead and click on Run, and WebScan will begin installing. Then we can see in the bottom right-hand corner that WebScan is starting automatically. You'll also see that in the window, it's just indicating to press any key to continue. We'll get a message that indicates that the installation has completed and the file will automatically close itself. And that's it. That's how you use the installation assistant for scanner drivers and WebScan. Thank you for viewing this training video. To learn more, please check out our other training modules. If you have questions, navigate to our frequently asked question page for answers to commonly asked questions. If you do not see an answer to your question, or if you need additional assistance, feel free to create a ticket on Client Portal.